Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and it is Tiny Tuesday. So, it's usually designed for a younger audience, but hey, if you want to just keep practicing art and things like that, it is suitable for everyone, alright? But just try to do a little bit more on the simpler side with like shapes and things like that. So, today, we're going to draw another Pokemon, but we're going to do one of my favorite, and I think it's just the way that it is designed, and that is Mewtwo. Alright, one of the most powerful Pokemon out there, and we're going to get started with a circle. Okay, so I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to draw myself a circle to establish the baseline for the head. Alright, so now that I have that established, we can go ahead and we can kind of make the mouth come out because he has the rounded head, but we want to curve out with the face. So let's kind of turn that up and then just use the rest of the circle. Kind of get the head in there. So I'm going to clean up a little bit inside there just so you can see the shape better. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to establish his chest. It's another reason why drawing Pokemon is a little bit easier, is they can kind of make simplistic shapes to help draw out the different shapes of the body, so you can really just use basic shapes as a foundation. Let's shorten the chest up a little bit on that side, and we may make some adjustments while we do different things on here, just so that I can get everything set up. We're just going to kind of do the shapes first. So we're going to take his chest back, and let's kick it this way. Might be a little bit too far, so let's cut that down to like right there. Then we'll come back over to this chest piece here. And build that up that way. And come on this side and give it an edge here. Like that. Let's cave that in. Curve it out. Alright, and then we're going to take it and we're going to arch over and build up the shape of the back here. And we'll curve that down. Just like that. Let's make the neck come over just a little bit. Okay. So now that I have that set up, we can kind of set up the arms and come out this way. Okay, so kind of more of a simple form to the arms, just so it's not too, because we don't want it to be like, you know, too close to human, but he is anthropomorphic, which means he's able to walk upright and all that other stuff. So I'm going to build that forearm out that way. Let's erase this back some. Okay, so we got like right here, and then we can come out this way, and I'm going to put the hand right here. We're going to do that typical like MewTwo pose that you see where he's kind of always cocked sideways and ready to fight. Okay, so I'm going to just build out the hand shapes that way. Cut the forearm down a little bit right here. Okay, and then for the fingers, it's really easy. He's only got 3, but he has these almost orb shapes to his fingers. Almost like balls are attached, like tennis balls are attached to the end of his fingers there. Come out. Do another finger like that. Probably make those a little bit skinnier. Okay, so let's come in from here and let's extend and add a curve to the last finger. Just give it more of a dynamic look to it. And curve that out that way. Okay, so we have ourselves a nice little hand setup. Again, we can come back and make adjustments and fix things when we're closer to being done, but we want to finish like setting up everything else. Okay, now with this chest, I really want to sharpen the edge up, so I'm just trying to make it not as rounded. Alright, and then down here, once we get to this area is where this curve is happening, and I'm just going to clean up some of that sketchiness so you can see the shape better. But we really want a slight curve here, and then it bends back out. So just try and make a tiny curve right here on the end, and then we're just going to go from there, and we're going to build out the shape of the thigh, which he has some very animal muscular type legs. So we can just make like a giant, like almost egg shape with it. Okay, and then we can just come from there and build out the shapes of the legs like that. Okay, now down here on the leg, as it comes down, we want to kind of come out and do the same thing. We want to kind of make like a, I mean, it's not a toe, but it's almost like, think of it like on a dog. It's like a dew claw that comes off the foot. and then the rest of it just kind of comes out. Into a toe. And then like up here where our toe comes back, you can kind of add a small crease right there. Okay. Then we come out and do the second one. So we got the two. So kind of like that. Alright. Now we can come to this front part here. Let's slim down. And we can bring it back this way for the body. Okay. Then I can just come right back to where I left off here. And we can make another, I mean, it's still kind of like an egg shape, but we want it to kind of have a change in direction, right? So best way I can show that is like, so here would be like the top of the thigh, right? And then it changes direction going downward towards the ground. Okay. And then what we can do is we can kind of come from probably about right here where it starts to curve. We can curve that up to complete that thigh like that. Okay, we can get like a little bit of a knee here on this side. Let's change the shape of that though. I'm going to take this down and have that kind of come into the leg that way. Okay, and then same for here. We want that crease in the thigh where the calf kind of curves behind it. Now, he doesn't really have a calf, it's just the foot. So we can just curve that out from there, like that. Okay, then I'm going to take it down and go this way. So you want to have that little bit of a bend in the foot. So I'm going to take this back and let's curve that in and round out this way. Okay, and then from there, we can draw that toe in there. Okay, and then we can come out and draw the toe that's closest to us. And as we do that, I'm going to make adjustments because I'm seeing how my foot's this way. So I'm going to take it and turn it this way. And we can just clean up around the outside there. And then of course we have to get that inside toe slash dew claw shape in there. Okay. I'm sorry to do this to you guys, but this one's like messing with my head. I think I want to pull it back some more. So let's do that again. Let's come out here like this. And I want this piece to come back more. Okay. Just so we want it to kind of look like it's turning right, and sitting on the ground the way that it should. See how it's more flat, and then I'm going to extend probably those toes out too. But again, that's part of the drawing process. It's just seeing things and trying to adjust and fix them to get the best look possible out of it. Okay, so we have that toe there. And then I can come in here and put in my little dew claw circle shape. So I'm not going to change these toes too much. We're just going to extend it out. We're just going to go a little bit further, okay, and come out this way. Just want a little bit more length to them. Alright. Then I'm going to come back up here. We got to get that other arm in here, okay? So we're going to kind of treat it like it's coming out from this side here. So I'm going to get in that kind of a forearm shape. Like that. Then I'm going to get my hand shape. So we're going to kind of, almost like as best as he can make a fist, I guess you'd say. Just the way his hands are shaped, it's not really, 100% possible for him to do that. But we're going to work it out anyway. And come in. Curve our fingers around. Like that. Then let's kind of cut off this one. Get that shape in there like that. Then I can just kind of do a knuckle shape. And bring that down. So we could probably actually move this thumb back some. Okay, because I want it to kind of, when we come back from here and connect, we're going to kind of come down. And again, it's all about making these adjustments to make it look as close to what is in your head that you want it to look like, or even if you're redrawing and trying to break it down that way. Now I want to get the tail to come out the back side. Okay, so let's say, trying to picture it coming down. Let's say it comes out about here. Come up. We could come up past the hand. Bring it out that way. We're going to make it a little bit bigger here, just so it looks like it's coming towards us a little. And as we take it back, we can shrink up the edge, or how close our lines are running parallel to each other. And then all we have to do is look here at where the tail is coming out. And from there, we can get that on there. Okay, so now we have the body built out. Now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add in details on the face and things like that. So we're going to start with the eye in here. Okay, so we're going to make him look more angry and intense. Maybe he's setting up a psychic blast. So let's curve the eye around. Take it in that way. Now I'm going to adjust. We're going to come from here and go up first like this. Then once we kind of get that line, we can take it back like that. Okay. I'm going to see like a small indentation here. See how it almost looks like a backwards L? Take it like that. And draw the head back that way. Okay. So before I get into his head, I want to go ahead and do the nose. So we're going to just kind of curve this, go down, and let's put a mouth. Think of it almost like when we do those Ninja Turtles. We do that kind of a mouth to it. Okay, have a slight chin, and the head will go back like this. Okay, again, we can adjust the neck to fit the shape size that we need. Okay, we can put a little bit of a nose right here. And then let's just, if we think about the head itself, right, we have that one part that looks like it kind of runs and connects into his back. So all we have to do is kind of think of like a tube, right? Take that back and just curve that towards his back there. Like that. Okay. Then we want to kind of come out of the head. And make, I don't know if you'd really call those ears, but they're his ears, I guess, on his head. So we'll just turn those back out. Let's erase this middle part because we want to get this angle going right with the direction he's facing. So I'm going to come up, take that back that way. Kind of round it like that. So that'd be that one part of his head. And then the back side will be a little bit easier because all we have to do is just kind of find that distance, right? So we want that to come down this way some. So we'll kind of extend the head out just a little bit. Like that. Okay. And then with that space now, I can come in and curve out. Another shape. Like that. Maybe give it an edge right here. And we can have it set up that way. Okay. So next thing I want to do is we'd want that shoulder here. The body where it comes around, it kind of connects up here to the chest. So I want to add in that line work there. And just connect it that way. Okay, so it should look like this. The next thing I want to do is just go around and refine everything. So I'm going to do both of where I like to thicken up the edge surrounding my character. Okay, I'm going to cut back on the sketchiness inside of this shape. So I'm just going to refine it, which is basically just darkening the lines. Okay, then I'm going to continue to go around, and as I get to certain spots that I see are super sketchy and have some extra pieces hanging out, I'm going to clean those up. Okay. Excuse me, I am so sorry. Alright, and that comes back, and again I want that to just be a solid line there. So just nice and refined as I go around. And it'll make it pop off the page more. And then we can do some hatch shading with some hatching to make him stand out even more. But we'll do that at the end here. So I'm just going to go around, thicken up these edges. Okay, and again, as I get to certain areas, like see how this is still really sketchy in here? I'm going to clean those up to make a nice thin refined line right there. Okay, same thing with this forearm. I'm going to go outside and thicken up the edge. And then like these areas inside here with the fingers. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can keep them the same if you don't. I just want to show that difference between the outside edge and the inside edge. So I'm just kind of thinning that out and then thickening the outside line. And it'll just show a better transition from the thick lines to the thin ones. Okay. So we're going to continue. Go around. And we'll thicken up the edges here. Now this part in here, see how that's really sketchy? This is what I'm talking about. I want to come in here and refine those lines just so they look cleaner and less sketchy. Okay. Same thing with the chest here. It's going to come out. And we're just going to clean up those areas that are too loose. Okay, so same thing with this top line. And yours may not be that sketchy. Maybe you nailed it without sketching it out. And then you don't have to worry about it. A little line in here for some curve. Just refining and cleaning. Okay, so now I can come back here to the face. And we can thicken up that outside edge here. And again, while I do that, I'm just going to refine the line work inside. Now one thing I do want to do to kind of enhance the fact that we don't see like his eyes and stuff, just to kind of really bring that out, I'm going to thicken up that edge here around the eye. Okay. So now I will continue going around. Let me check something real quick with my light. There. See if you guys can see that a little better. Again, I'm just going to kind of round it out. And just thicken up the edge that way. Okay. Find my line work. Only thicken up the outside. Okay, so we can see how he's kind of starting to stand out a little bit. I'm going to turn that light back on. Just because my camera's having trouble focusing. But I'll probably need to look into getting some like fluorescent lights or something so it doesn't drown out my pencil marks over here. But hey, I'm still work in progress for this. For YouTube, I'm still figuring stuff out. But just bear with me. Okay, so we have that refined. Come down into the finger here. Nice and thick there. Nice single refined line right here, just on the arm. Okay. Then I'm going to go around the finger. Thicken that up and just refine this specific finger by cleaning up a lot of the loose sketchy lines in there. And again, we're going to go around. And then just clean up the middle. All right. So bear with me. I'm going to turn this light off one more time. I just think you guys can see the lines a lot better this way. But I'll figure something out with the lighting situation. So for now, I'm going to leave it there. I was trying not to get my shadow in the picture too much. That's why I had the extra lights. But like I said, I'll figure something out to cancel all that out. So I apologize for that. But I really wanted you to see this line work and how it's working. And we're going to just finish refining and thickening the edges on our hands here. Okay, and then just continue around. So you can see how it's making it stand out more. So we thicken up that line work here on the inside. Make this a nice refined line here. Okay. Now, here's the tricky part. Well, it's not really tricky, just something you have to notice. So like down here with the leg, right? I don't want to have these two lines here connecting. So you want that to separate. And then down here with the leg, we just want to refine down there. So see how they're not touching now? Got that separation. Same thing with the tail. We're just going to go around and thicken up the edge here. Okay. Keep going around. Might be a little bit too thick right there, but just keep working your way around. And you're going to see why, for the most part, I like to do this thicken thing, because we're going to shade this, not like, you know, epically shade this, but we're going to shade it enough that it'll stand out. These lines will help keep the center focus on the character, and the shading will just enhance the forms and kind of make it stick out a little bit more. Okay, so we just continue down into the feet, and we're almost done with this part. down there to the toes. Okay, and just continue around. Refine that. Clean up again. Just clean up any like loose, sketchy stuff, just so that it looks nice and clean. Alright, we'll take that up to the thigh that way. And then we'll just run underneath to the tail. Let's clean up that little bit of sketchiness right there in that corner. Okay, and then we'll just continue to connect it this way. Then once that's done, just erase that out. And then boom. Okay, so now we're going to throw in the easiest form of shaping, which is just hatching, right? So I'm just going to come in here, and if you've watched any of my other videos on how to shade, hatching is simply just taking a line and just going like this. 1, picking up, 2, picking up, and then once you get used to it, you can take it all the way back. As fast or as slow as you need. Okay, so like with this spherical shape, kind of go like that, right? And so we just keep going around to the areas that need it. Okay, and what it'll do is it'll just enhance, like I said, the forms on your drawing. I just make it stand out more. So if you just think about where your light source, which I'm picking to come from this direction, what that looks like. You just hatch that in. You can see it starts building up a shadow. Take that back and just come up the leg. Okay. Like I said, it just makes it look a little bit more interesting, and it is just one way to shade. There's of course smudging and all kinds of things that we can do to shade out our picture. We just want to hit up those spots that, like where these fingers will block in the forearm, right? So it's just going to be a small area right here that's exposed to light. Okay, still want to keep that underside of those spherical shapes of the fingers. Right, like that. Okay, same thing with this area here. It's going to start here. And shade it back. Okay. Now if you'd like a more comprehensive video on shading, or you want me to kind of revamp the one that I did when I first started the channel, just let me know down in the comments and we can talk about that. Okay. And we're just going to continue. Now if you notice, these shading marks that I'm doing are not as dark. They are a little bit lighter. just so they stand out. Okay. And we're going to come down the thigh this way. Now, of course, if you wanted to color this picture, you still could go over the shading with this. It's completely possible to do. Okay, I'm going to skip over to the tail. This little bit is blocked here. So as we come out, then we can start stretching down. Okay. So like I said, this just kind of helps you enhance the forms. You could easily come in here and go like this and smudge it out and smooth it. I'm just going to keep it simple with the shading of the hatching lines. But again, it's your artwork. You can explore. And you can see what it looks like when it's all smoothed out by just taking your finger and smoothing it. Now you don't want to like spread it all over the picture or anything, but okay. So I have that. Come in here on the back side of the body. Okay, I'm going to take this down the back end here, up under the arm. Okay, probably get a little bit on this underside since it's facing down of the chest. We can do that. And just take that back up. Okay. Now this whole part of the neck, as our head's tilted down, probably not going to see too much of anything with that. So we can just shade that in. Okay. Then I can take my arm and we can shade it this way. Like that. Same thing with the fingers. You want to kind of make it a spherical shape. So you want to just kind of stick with the roundness of the finger itself. And then come in here on the inside, close to the edge of the finger. Okay, we want to shade different aspects right here. Again, with the thumb covering up a small portion, we're going to make a slight curve that way. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing this way. And then down here, I'm going to turn to this side. And shade that in that way. Okay. We'll just do this underside of the little piece that comes off the back of his head. Like that. As far as the head goes here, you just really need to just do this side of the ear, and then this whole back side is being blocked off like that. Okay, we could do a tiny bit on the edge here on the forehead, and then we want to make it come around the edge of the eye here, like that. Okay, we could have just the tiniest bit underneath the eye, and then this lower portion of the face. like that. Okay, and then I forgot the foot down here, so let's go ahead and shade that aspect. So get down to here, we're going to come down into the foot. Take that down. Just like that, and then just the inside part of the toe here, and then that's going to do it for our Tiny Tuesday Mewtwo. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you liked the video or you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Goals try to get to 500. That way I can start doing some community stuff. You know, setting up polls and things, get some ideas for what you guys want to see. Just like, share, subscribe, whatever you want to do is fine. If you just came by because you love Mewtwo and that's what you wanted to do, that's cool too. Alright, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Until next time, keep sketching, and I will see you in the next video. Alright? Bye.